All right. Well, brothers, thank you. And welcome to the next session in the series for the Grand Lodge webinar series. As we've talked about before, this is not a titled meeting, so please take notice. These sessions are recorded, so let's be kind and courteous. Please keep yourself on mute during the presentation. We'll use the chat feature to send questions. We'll cover them all at the end. And as before, there is a poll at the end of the session. The upcoming schedule here, we have a little bit of a few repeat items coming up. We had intention in the schedule to repeat the items on different days as we go forward, just so if people didn't get a chance to attend, they're able to attend later. And we also have a couple items new as well. So with that, we will move on. I forgot to remove the Grand Secretary, so I forgot to update my slides apparently. With that, the current presentation is Improving Communications with Technology with Brother Adam. Brother Adam, I will grant you screen share permissions and you should be able to share, and it is all yours.
Great, thank you. 1 second here while I get set up.
No problem.
All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you, brothers. I'd like to, for those of you who don't know me, which I was looking on here, I don't know many of you. I'd like to start out by introducing myself. My name is Brother Adam Martin. I'm a brother out of Acacia Lodge number 51. By day, I'm a lead software engineer at a pharmacy company in Egan. So I was asked by the Grand Secretary to present ways of improving technology using social media, other applications that we'll go over tonight. We'll go over things that you can use to improve communication with your lodge and the members of the public. I have to start out by saying, when I saw the Grand View application on Tuesday, I thought to myself, well, there goes my presentation is shot. That kind of takes care of what I was trying to do. But that does not mean that there isn't a use for social media or other communications out there. I was told by the Grand Secretary that we don't have any restrictions on social media applications that you can use within your lodge. But if you ever have any doubt, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm very excited about the Grand View application, and I'm curious to see how it takes off. It sounds like it's going to take care of a lot of the internal lodge communication needs. But like I said, it doesn't mean that social media or other communication applications won't have a place. I'll lay these disclaimers out. There is a ton of technology out there, so I'm just going to cover some of the more popular ones. There may be ones that you use that you think are better, or you may not agree, that you can get good use out of what is being presented tonight, and that's fine. The goal here isn't to say use these, but to get some awareness on what's available to you. Many of the apps that you will see tonight you may take a different perspective on how they could be used to benefit your lodge and its members, and you'll see why as we get into them. Another disclaimer is to always remember that you represent Masons everywhere when using social media or other technologies for Masonic communications, and to please govern yourselves accordingly. I was thinking about social media and this quote. If you watch House of Cards, there's a quote that Zoe Barnes says to her boss when she's being fired from the Washington Herald after he calls her a name, and she tweets it out and she says, these days when you're talking to one person, you're talking to 1,000. That's very, very true. We'll go over the agenda. So I'll start out by talking about some social media applications you can use, kind of doing an overview of each of them. I'll go through some email texting applications, some video conferencing tools, and website building tools, or known as content management systems. Then we'll do some time for Q&A if anybody has any. Keep in mind that with social media, that your audience has the potential to be much larger. Your actions can be captured and resent. So you wanted that. Think before you post, tweet, etc. There is a lot of social media apps out there. These are just a few of the more popular ones. We'll start out by talking about Facebook. I know pretty much everybody on here knows about Facebook. It was designed to produce meaningful interactions with people, to keep up with family and friends via posts and images. It's very popular. It's widely used by Masons today. I'm sure most of your lodges are using it in some way, shape, or form. You can create groups, you can schedule events, you can boost events to increase engagement. There's several groups that you can be part of today outside of your lodges. The Minnesota Freemasons, the Grand Lodge has one. There's Metro East Masonic Association, Minnesota Masonic Business Network, and so on. If you have a private group for members only, one way you could consider using this is by starting a public-facing group that allows the public to enter it and see what's going on in your lodge. Obviously, you wouldn't be posting anything private, but the St. Paul Valley Scottish Rite has recently done this with the Not Just a Man, a Mason effort. Let's see what else. Oh, there's also Facebook Live, which is where you use live video streaming to display content. Acacia actually just used this to broadcast. We did a sportsman's raffle that was supposed to be on our pancake breakfast, but that got canceled. So we did a Facebook Live event where just a few of the brothers, maintaining social distancing, got together to do the raffle because we had to due to state law. And then that way people who bought tickets could attend and see if they won. Let's see, we'll talk about Twitter. This one, similar to Facebook in the fact that you're posting things, or as they call it, you tweet things, but this one was designed more to be real time. The Facebook and Twitter, you could argue that they could be used the same way, but again, when Twitter created itself, they wanted it to be more on the go, in the now, this just happened right now moment type of thing, where people could retweet those events and get information out there quickly. This is another very popular one, as you may be aware, and you might be using it. They do have limitations on how much you can tweet and post and how large of a tweet you can put out there. Let's see, Instagram, another very popular one. Image sharing application. You can share videos, images, along with appropriate hashtags to specify audiences. So the hashtag, whatever you want it to be, and to bring awareness to that type of audience. Pinterest, that was designed to be an inspirational application. So you can go on and you can create visual bookmarks. So take pictures and do a bookmark, and then you can click into that, and it might lead to a link that shows you a recipe. I personally, just online, I don't have it on my phone because I don't use it, but if you go online, you'll see recipes all the time. If you're looking up a recipe, Pinterest pictures will pop up, and you can click onto that if you want to make a dish. So again, inspirational, visual bookmarking. Tumblr, or no, sorry, not Tumblr, Nextdoor. This one I find interesting, and I'll explain why. So it was designed to share content with people in your neighborhood. So if you don't know about this one, check it out. Users, you sign up online and you register by entering your address, and then they connect you to your neighborhood. And then everybody who's part of that neighborhood and so I live in Woodbury, so I'm part of the Woodbury neighborhood here. Everybody who's out there can post stuff within Woodbury or the neighborhoods around here. I can see this one being a really good idea for lodges to reach out to local people in your area. I'm kind of looking into it. I'm not sure how it would work offhand, but my idea goes along with how you use it. You go to the website, you register using your address, then you can create groups within your neighborhood. So there could be a Masonic group within your neighborhood that you could allow the public to request access to. And you could use that to get in contact with the community, recruit members, etc. But if you want to use it for your lodge, I'm thinking you would probably have to enter in your lodge's address, and you'd probably have to have an admin who was running that. So just some ideas there using Nextdoor. That one has potential, I think. Tumblr, this one has been around for a while, but I haven't used it personally. I know it's very, very popular. It was originally created to be a blog platform. So, I mean, if you're using that one, there's probably ways you could use that with Masonic communications as well. I haven't used that one personally. I just threw it in there because it's a very popular one. And then if you've heard of TikTok, many of you who have heard of this one are probably asking the same thing I did when I added this to the list, and I only did it because it's exploded with its popularity. But how would you ever use this to benefit your lodge? And so the way it works is you take a video of something or of yourself, whatever, and then you can add music to it and then post it to create a short music video. I'm not sure exactly how you could use it for communications, but it'd be interesting to see some brothers try. Probably be very humorous. So that's just a brief overview of some of the social media apps out there. I'll move on here. So email, chatting, texting applications. There's a ton of them out there. These are some of the more popular ones. WhatsApp. I use this one personally for group texting. I don't use my internal messaging app on my phone. I use that for just person-to-person texting, but for group texting, I use WhatsApp. You can use it for individual texting too, but you can create groups within it. And you can also use it for phone or video calling for free over Wi-Fi. So if you're traveling internationally, you can, if you're on Wi-Fi, you can call or video chat for free. Like I said, I use it for group texting. It has other functionalities in it, like some graphical things, emojis, stuff like that. Telegram, this is another popular one that was designed with privacy in mind. It's a secure texting platform. It also it was designed with encryption and destroying algorithms built in to ensure its privacy. That's what makes it so secure. One interesting feature about it is you can create things called chatbots, which you can have people subscribe to it if they want to. Then all you do is you send a text or notification to that chatbot, and it automatically notifies anyone who's subscribed to that channel, which seems like an interesting feature because you wouldn't need to maintain a list of people. They could come and go as they please. That's a little bit about that one. GroupMe, I haven't personally used this one. I have heard of it, and I've heard it's one of the better ones for group chats. I haven't bothered to load it up and take a look at what it does. It's designed for free group messaging. It's similar to WhatsApp with setting up groups and adding people for mass communication. You've got Facebook Messenger and Google Hangouts there. Facebook Messenger is popular now. We'll get into the Zoom conferencing thing when we get to that part, but they created their own platform to compete with Zoom there. It's popular now. It was an integrated part of Facebook, and now they made it a standalone app, so you can just download Messenger and use that without having to go within Facebook. But it is still part of Facebook as well. You can use it for video calling, phone calling, messaging. Like I group Google Hangouts in with this because it's similar to Messenger with this functionality. It's just Google made this video calling, phone calling, messaging as well. Let's go on to emails and newsletters. The three I listed are very popular. There's a bunch of them out there. You search for this, you're gonna see a whole list of things with a whole bunch of different opinions on what's the best one to use. There's probably some other really good ones that I don't have listed here. Constant Contact, this one's highly used. It starts out at $20 a month. There's a free trial period. So you have to pay to use this one. MailChimp, there's a free version of that. So you get a 2,000 contact maximum, 10,000 emails to send in a month, and you create a custom newsletter within that. Osmond Shrine currently uses MailChimp. It's easy to use. The only thing I don't like about it is you can only have one admin on the free version, so you may be forced into upgrading to a paid version unless you got grandfathered in before they change their pricing structure. Benchmark, this one, there is also a free version. You get unlimited subscribers, 250 emails a month. What I liked about this is if you know anything about content management systems and building a website, they have a lot of drag and drop features. This one has that. So it reminds me of a content management system. It's very popular. It offers a free version and a pro version for $12 a month, I believe. So it's fairly inexpensive to use. And not to say that the other ones aren't inexpensive, but I just found it interesting that while like MailChimp has 4 different levels of pricing to get functionality used, this one only has 2, free or you use pro version, and that's only $12 a month. So if you're looking to limit your choices, maybe that's the one for you. Let's move on. Let's talk about video conferencing, a very, very popular topic right now. Zoom, we're using it. We're on it right now. There were some security concerns that came out about it that the company is addressing. You need to ensure your password protecting so that when you click that link that says add password in the meeting, it adds the password in the URL and encrypts it. You make sure you don't give out the link to anybody you don't want joining the meeting because they could enter. That's why you should probably enable a waiting room for added security, even if you have password protected. That way the host of the meeting can see who's coming in or out. The free version has limits. It's only 40 minutes per meeting. I personally bought a license to increase it so my lodge could use it. Let's see, what else did I say? The free version has limits of 40 minutes, although I think that they're going to increase that as their competitors come out, and I'll get to that. My lodge is using it for a bi-weekly social hour. I've used it for the St. Paul Scottish Rite has used my account initially so that they could try it out. It's fairly straightforward to use. If somebody enters that you don't know, you can ask them to verify who they are. If they don't, you can kick them out and they can't rejoin the meeting. You can use custom virtual backgrounds, which a lot of you are having fun with right now, including myself. Then as we go on from Zoom, there are larger companies now that Google and Facebook are coming up with versions to compete with Zoom. So if you haven't heard of Google Meet before, this one I find intriguing because I happen to like Google products. They just released a free version. I don't know when it was, but it was recent, I think. You can host up to 100 participants. Like Zoom, it integrates with Google Calendar and it's considered secure. I'm actually going to try this one out for one of our lodge social hours. It was mainly used by businesses previously as a part of G Suite. So if you've heard of like Microsoft Teams, G Suite was Google's application suite that businesses would use. So it was a part of that. With the free version, you just go to the website, you click schedule a meeting, and it integrates with Google Calendar. And you can add participants the exact same way Zoom does it if you're using Google Calendar. I think it actually forces you to use Google Calendar. So if you don't use Google Calendar, this might not be the option for you. One great thing about it is it has a 60-minute time limit with the free version versus 40, like Zoom uses. And like I said, I'm going to try to see and see how it works. Facebook Messenger Rooms, fairly new. Facebook answer to Zoom. From what I understand about it, it's not password protected. It holds up to 50 people. It is free. I haven't really used this one yet, so if any of you have, throw your comments in about it in the chat, and we can read that later on. I don't know too much about it. Skype, this one's been around for a while. You can use it to call, chat, or video conference. There's a 50 participant max, I believe. It's a Microsoft app, so trusted along those aspects. As far as the background, you can blur your background. They don't offer like the fun custom backgrounds, but you can blur your background. I personally don't use this one because way back when video technology was first coming out, it wasn't very good, and Skype was what I tried, and I hated it. So, but since then, it's improved so much that I've heard from a lot of people who do use it that it works great. So I threw that on here too. Let's see, going on. Let's talk about websites or content management systems. Now, I understand that with Grandview, it was a little foggy on what the presenter meant by you can put a website within Grandview. I'd like to look at that. He said it doesn't host a website, but you can put a website on it. So I wasn't quite clear about what that meant. Maybe somebody can clarify that. But anyway, websites for your lodge, I think, are one of the most important things. And originally, I wasn't going to cover this too much, but then I thought I should probably go over a few of these for a little bit. There are a lot of different content management systems that you can use to build websites, other than the ones I had listed here. These are just some of the more popular ones. So a CMS is basically, it's a web application, or it can be a downloaded application that you download to your desktop, a client, that you can use to build websites without having to use code or writing little code using their out-of-the-box components. CMSs each have their own pluses and minuses, which I'll kind of get into a little bit here. I'm currently using Webflow to build a new website for my lodge. We have a website, but it needs updating, and I wanted to get it off of its old CMS that they were using. So I'm using Webflow to build a new one now. So an example of a minus of using one of these on Webflow, to not to put a bash against it, but I was a little upset that it didn't have out of the box capability to build a calendar where like WordPress does. So there are pluses and minuses to each of them. So start off with WordPress here. This one is a good one for beginners. It doesn't require technical skills or coding. It's a fairly flexible platform. They have out of the box components that you can use to build, but it also has a high dependency on plugins if you want to add functionality to it, and that's not always ideal, and I'll get into why in a second here. Yeah, like I said, it's good for beginners. So I guess I can go into why now. So the plugins can cause issues because the plugins are usually built by external developers who do not work for WordPress. They just submit their code, their plugin to the company, and it gets approved, and they add their plugin in. What happens is if those developers don't keep up with the upgrades of the CMS platform, then it can cause versioning problems and go out of date and then not be compatible with new versions of WordPress as they come out. So you're going to end up doing a lot of maintenance there. Wix is another one like WordPress. It's good for beginners. It's friendly. The only thing I don't like about Wix is they add their ads to your site if you're using the free version. By the way, I should mention that all of these offer free versions. So you can, as long as you pay for a domain, you can host a website for free, keeping it very simple. But on the free version for Wix, they add their own ads. So you would have Wix ads on your website, which I don't like at all. Drupal and Joomla, I added these on here because they're popular, but they are a little bit more advanced and probably require more technical skills and are more ideal for experienced website builders. So if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend using those. And I added Webflow on here. It's not as well known, but I like it. It's got an easy user interface and drag and drop. And not only that, what I love about them is their video documentation. They offer a ton of video tutorials on how to build within their platform. So I've used WordPress before. The only thing I have to complain about that is the plugins and keeping up with compatibility. If you're going to use one of these, make sure you choose one that offers security, which is SSL or secure socket layer. It's on the web. If you're looking at a web browser, on the part where you enter the web address, up in the left-hand corner, there will be a little lockbox saying that this site is secure. Make sure you get one that offers that. A lot of these CMSs will allow you to create domains through them. They integrate with different domain services such as GoDaddy. A lot of the domain services, if you go to GoDaddy.com, will have direct integrations with a specific CMS. I think GoDaddy offers through WordPress, or it may go through a bunch of different ones. I guess I'm not sure. I'm not going to go over the domains too much here because I'm getting to run short on time. But I use Google Domains. It's fairly inexpensive. If you don't know what a domain is, it's just the website address that you press in. So you go to Google Domains, you type in, I want my website to be called this, and you want it to use .org, .com, and they tell you if it's available or not, and then you can purchase it. And then you can give it to a hosting site to publish your website. There's GoDaddy.com, another very popular one. It's a little bit more expensive. There's also Namecheap and Register.com. There's other ones out there too. So just remember, when you're using products like this, the closest you can keep it to out-of-the-box functionality, the easier it is to support later on. The more custom you become, the more you'll have to put into it to maintaining the website when an update occurs. And I already went over the thing with WordPress. And that's my presentation. So before I turn it back over to Worshipful Brother Jason, I put in my contact info. If anybody wants to contact me, they can. I'm happy to help anybody out with anything technically related. We're all using Zoom, so I'm assuming we're all good there, but I have spent a good deal of time helping brothers out on the east side here using these tools. But I'm happy to help with any technical questions or anything like that at all. So I'll turn it back over to Worshipful Brother Jason for questions, and thank you very much, brothers.
Thank you, Brother Adam. I appreciate it. Well done. So question-wise, looking at the group this chat session, there is a question from Brother Paul. What about GoTo? I'm assuming he means GoToMeeting.
I did run across GoTo. I don't know a lot about it, to be honest with you. I'd be happy to look at it and to let you know what I think.
It's a Citrix product, I would believe. I don't know much about it myself either.
I'd love that, Adam. I'd love that, Jason. Thank you.
Yep.
Is that Paul Peterson?
Yes. Looks like
Yes,
it.
sir.
Yes, Paul. I will get back to you on that.
Thank you, sir.
There was a statement from Brother Ron. I don't know if I'm not sure I understand the question or the statement. So if you'd like to clarify on the phone, that would be awesome. If you're muted.
Let me unmute myself there. No, I was just mentioning that one that we use at our lodge here, actually for even on the shrine side, and Paul Peterson can actually use it. So that there is a task in itself, is Weebly, and Weebly has some free versions as well. So that's what I was just mentioning. There's that one.
Yep.
For the GoToMeeting, I use GoToMeeting for my work in broadcasting, and that's a very simple, easy one to use as well. The only thing it doesn't offer is virtual backgrounds. So, but it does have the phone call. You can set up, reoccurring meetings, pretty much like Zoom. So you always have the same number to call into. So they work very similar and very similar cost.
So Ron,
those virtual backgrounds, right? So those are key.
Ron, is GoToMeeting, is that an enterprise type app? Like,
you can do it both enterprise app, or you can just do it individually as well.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Let's see. What do we else?
I think Ron was making a great point as well with regards to Zoom, that people may not have video capacity on their computer system and can call in to Zoom.
Yes.
Yep.
We see that on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I think the call requires the paid version. You can't do it with free.
No, you can do it with free.
Oh, can you do it with free too?
Yep,
Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
But you have that 40-minute time lapse.
So what I've noticed between the paid version and the free version is when I've been helping brothers who want to use it and they're using the free version, when they go to create the meeting link, there are no conference call lines on the invite if you're creating the meeting yourself. I think if you're using it free version and you are an attendee, you can call in for free, but I don't know that you can actually use the conference line if you're presenting a meeting. If you're using the free version. Yeah, that's the difference I saw with it.
Yep. And the other thing on the paid version, I have it for another organization. The paid version that I showed Paul is if you get a really large group, it's free, and it's called, it's like a breakout room. They have rooms where it automatically, if you had 30 people on and it gets to be kind of crazy, you could divide them up into 2 or 3 rooms, and they could have individual conversations, and that at any time you can just bring everyone back together.
Interesting.
Zoom has that capability as well.
Right. So Zoom does a nice job on that.
Yeah, I also noticed, Brother Adam, that it looks like Google's Meeting has changed their number up to 250. On the
really? Okay. That's
I was just looking at the website and saw that was.
Yeah, I don't know, that one might give Zoom a run for its money. I mean, Zoom's a great product. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to try out Google Meet and see where it goes, because I already was playing around with it and it was very, very easy to use. I thought it was easier to use than Zoom.
I use everything I have is Google now, other than the Zoom stuff I do for Grand Lodge. So, Any other questions that you would like to ask Brother Adam here before we start wrapping up?
I see Brother Nick has a question on social media.
Oh, does he? Where did he post that? Oh, there. Brother Nick.
One of the things, it was more just a comment on it. TikTok can be used for a lot of different things. It could be used for dancing along with a song, doing movie quotes. You could do jokes. You can up to regular content. It's really popular with the kids, obviously.
Yep.
Mentor. Okay. And one of the big things about both the website and all your social media sites is that don't forget LinkedIn is another social media site, and don't forget to plug in all your social media sites into it. It's not just about keeping in touch with the brothers, it's about keeping in touch with the community and also being attractive for good men who want to become better. So it's one of those things where it will be our marketing tool for the future, whether we want to or not. So either people are going to post anti-Masonic things and those are going to get the most hits, or we're going to do it right and we're going to be on top.
Thank you, Worship Brother Nick. Any other questions? Well, thank you. Well, so as we talked about earlier, the upcoming sessions, I will be posting the links to the registration here coming tomorrow. As soon as I have a chance to sit down and do that, those will go up. We will get those out so everyone can register for it. The poll is open again. Please be sure to submit that poll before you leave. And thank you for attending the session. And it's always good to see you guys virtually through these webinars. So thank you for attending, guys.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep.